Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. I hope you had a great day.
I am. It's been a good week.
Oh, that's really good to hear. So, Chad, firstly, I want to know what and how did you come up with Heart Aligned Energies, and what really inspired you to, get into meditation and yoga and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you. So, my journey started probably about 2 years ago, I guess, and I was dealing with some pretty heavy trauma related to physical violence, and so my aunt Diane, who is a yoga practitioner that teaches Sattva yoga, she sort of encouraged me to get into yoga, and so I started doing yoga here in North Carolina where I live, and then when I traveled to Utah, which is where she's at, I started doing yoga there, and then it became breath work and ice bath. And then we went to India last March, so just under a year ago, to the International Yoga Festival in Rishikesh. And, my journey sort of has progressed from there. And I'm now yoga teacher certified and also certified to teach a circular breath work called Inner Alchemy and yoga and meditation. And sort of all of this has helped me, I would say, realign my energy and navigate some of the personal trauma that I had experienced. And so I created Heart Aligned Energy because I wanted to uh, be able to share the gifts that others had shared with me and be able to, yeah, just open it up to other folks who might be interested. And then we got to meet you in India, and I know my aunt had met you before,
Yes.
and so I really, yeah, it's been a sort of a journey, and I'm kind of on this journey of self-discovery still, with wanting to offer breath work and yoga really at no charge to folks, and because I think everyone has a right to align their energy and heal. And so that's sort of the mission I'm on. Um, and yeah, I'll be back in India in just a couple of months, and it's been awesome to start partnering with you all and sharing some of the things here in the U.S.
No, that's really good. Your journey really sounds very challenging, actually. It's not that easy to transform into yoga and to enter breathwork. Breathwork is the last thing what people actually enter. But lucky you,
Hmm.
you enter it before entering the asanas. People
I did.
usually get into asanas and forget the breathwork, and that's what I realized. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing how you are actually a journey towards helping others, which is the most important thing. And
Yeah.
definitely, yes, we're very happy to be a part of what you're doing and partnering up with you, because I think it was just meant to be at the right time. And
Thank
Diane was
you.
one of the link for us to come and connect with you. And it was amazing how our journey with her is from 2020, just before COVID hit us. And since then, we've been in touch. We've been in aligned, I would say, synced and aligned with her. And it just happened that, you came to Rishikesh. How was your experience in Rishikesh?
Uh, Honestly, it was life changing. Out of all the places I've visited, India, but specifically Rishikesh and the Himalayas and on the Ganga, it was life changing for me. And I think it's you know the thing that always stands out to me is it's far more about heart and energy and experience than it is about what I own, what I have, what I can acquire. Um, and I loved just meeting everybody and connecting with people who from all over the world who were like-minded, and then also having the opportunity to take part in some of the arti ceremonies and the color ceremonies, and then bathe in the Ganga was really special, and to share that with folks who were really special to my heart. And so I would honestly love to live there and do
Wow.
work, whether that's in the ashram or in other places, but do the work. I also connected with a nonprofit there in India, in Rishikesh, who works with all the wounded animals. And so one of my passions is helping animals. And so he has a nonprofit there where he's helping and feeding the cows, and when the cows get injured, going to make sure that they get medical care. And so that's something else I was able to do when I was there. Yeah, so I loved it, and I can't wait to go back. This time we're also going to go to Varanasi,
Oh,
and I'm really excited to go to Varanasi as well.
are you trying to attend the Kumbh Mela? It's just happening before the festival.
Yeah, we're going before the festival, so we're going to be there the week before the International Yoga Festival, and I think we're figuring out what that's going to be, but we're super excited for that spiritual journey.
Sure, because Kumbh Mela gets over on 22nd of Feb. I think you're coming in March, but if you can attend even 1 or 2 days of the Kumbh Mela, it is beautiful.
Okay,
Like I've never been there, very frankly. I am hoping to attend it this year. I mean, in February for the first time, but
okay,
I'm not very sure. I mean, for us in India, Kumbh Mela is like you get lost.
yeah,
There are so many people, you tend to get lost,
yeah,
and that fear of because that's put into our head that the Kumbh Mela is basically you get lost out there, so you should never go there. But now that we went to yoga, I realized there's another part to it. There's a lot of spirituality out there,
mhm,
and you can learn a lot from people who are just nobody for you, and they
right,
become somebody for you at that time, which is so important. Like
yeah,
how to connect, as you said, connections are so important, and how do you connect with the heart is very important.
yeah,
So, like-minded people, yes, there are many, many like-minded people out there, and so if you can get a chance to attend it, you should try even for a day or two, maybe.
okay,
Maybe you have to come 2 weeks before for that because it gets
oh,
over on 22nd, if I'm not
oh,
mistaken. 22nd or
okay,
28th, just check. I'll just check and let you know about that.
okay,
But coming back
thank
to
you.
Heartline, how do people enroll to your site? How do people get benefits out of there? Do you do a live consult, like a live class with them, or are they recorded? How is it?
Yeah, so I am going to be offering live classes this year here in North Carolina, and then also possibly in Southern California. It's possible that my journey is going to take me from here to there at some point this year, and maybe on a more permanent point. But so in person, thus far I've done was able to offer it at one of the retreats in Costa Rica that my aunt co-hosted or hosted, and I was able to go to. The other thing I'm going to be doing is online offerings, either one-on-one or group, and I'm still working that out. But here in person, I'm going to offer a free class every at least once a month, and so people could join that way. I'm happy to do online or virtual, and then certainly, and I think actually Diane's probably watching here. If there were people who were really moved and inclined to do the inner alchemy breath work, I believe that's something she can offer as well um, in Utah. And I know she also does stuff. She's actively teaching breathwork classes all the time, so that may be something she's able to do if people are interested. But I could go to surrounding states. I drive a lot, and I'm willing to bring it where it's needed. Yeah, and that's sort of what I'm thinking. I'm not currently teaching yoga, and I don't. My heart tells me that I'm going to be offering sort of retreats that incorporate some asana movement, but ultimately breathwork being the end connection to the mind and the body and to everything else. And so it'll probably incorporate some of those things. Um, and as I whatever sort of moves me. But I would encourage anyone who's watching if they have ideas or thoughts and they want to talk more about this and how I might be able to bring some of that to them. I'm happy to sort of have that conversation, and even if it's outside of my areas and it's means going to a different areas, I'm happy to talk about that and see how I could help support someone else's healing journey.
Wow. Can you throw some more light on the breath work that you're talking about, but that really changed you and encourages you to really spread that to people?
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things that I really suffer or have suffered a lot with is anxiety. And some of that was spurred from the trauma, the initial traumas that I experienced, but also I've carried some of that for a lot of my life. The other thing I've struggled with is insomnia. And so the breath work for me is a way to center and calm my mind, but it's beyond that. I think the physical action of circular breath, and sort of going through different breaths to energize or calm me down and center me, really are tools for me to feel grounded. And so I think it's a little bit different for everybody. And there are so many different types of breath, as you know, that sort of enlighten parts of our body and open up certain chakras and certain energies, and then also sort of bring it in and bring it out. And so I think it's a journey that's different for everybody, but the main type of breath work I teach is a circular breath work. And it's sort of based roughly off of Soma or Wim Hof breath, but a little bit different. It includes um, some timed breathing and then some holds. And I think for me, a lot of the freedom or clarity comes during the holds and sort of opening up the mind to the energy and yeah, and then the meditation that follows, right? Because you often end those sort of types of breath work with a meditation or an activation of your mind and body and energy. And so that's sort of all of those things together help me. I do breath work a number of times a week. It isn't always that breath work. I may also just do some cosmic breaths or even just box breathing. It just depends on what I'm trying to do, or how I'm feeling, or where my heart takes me. And I think that's the key for me, and is to trust the heart, follow the heart, listen to the heart, and wherever that moves me or brings me. I know some of the breath work that I have learned from Diane is derived from Sattva, from the Sattva Academy there in Rishikesh or the Himalayas. But I am not trained under that. I offer some of that stuff just because I've partaken in it. But the circular breath work is what I mostly facilitate at this point. One day I'm going to go do that training up there as well, I hope.
Amazing. That sounds good because what you manifest, you really get. So if you really manifest to get there to learn, learning is the best thing. Even if you're at the highest point, you keep on
Yeah.
learning. That's the best thing because every day there's a new way of getting into a breath work or getting into any other form of yoga. Every year, every time we hear new things, like every form of yoga has a different breath
Mhm.
work. And how do you take it ahead with you and how do you channelize it for others and for yourself is more important.
Yeah.
I think you really understood the breath work point that it's a very small thing but a very huge part of yoga. Very huge part of yoga.
Yeah, I really, my favorite types of yoga often include incorporated breath work. So starting with the breath to sort of open up, and then incorporating breaths through movements. And one of my favorite things is to do the warrior breath, or Arjuna the archer breath, which
Yeah.
in the middle, and I think it really fires you up. And I always feel such freedom after doing that type of breath. But then I also think it's to calm down, you need to end with a breath. And yeah, I really love that type of yoga experience, regardless of what type of asana or movements we're doing. I like incorporated with breath work. And for me, that has been really hard to find here where I live in North Carolina. It's just not something that's offered as much. And that's one of the things I think that motivated me to want to do it here, to bring it to folks here and not have it be cost restrictive, because what I found was the people who were teaching that, especially one-on-one, were charging really, really high amounts of money. And I'm sure that they've paid a lot of money to get trained because it costs money. But for me, that's not my motivation. My motivation is more of the seva to give something away to other folks, expecting nothing in return, because I feel like that's what was done for me and helped me sort of on this healing journey. And so that's what's really important for me. Um, yeah, really important for me to do as well.
That's amazing. I think very few people who understand what yoga is all about. I do realize that it is from India, yoga is from India, but the
Hmm.
way it is coming up in the West, and I would say the purity, the authenticity of yoga, which is being practiced with mindful,
Hmm.
with breath work, with
Yeah.
meditation in the West, now is coming back to India. And I'm glad it's coming back to India now, where it was just about power yoga and hot yoga and all that is now moved out.
Yeah.
And I didn't even understand what was that. Like, what was hot yoga? How would I
I mean,
breathe in the 28-degree
yeah.
room?
I went once or twice, but one of the things that Diane taught me was I don't need to be in a room that's really hot.
Yeah,
I can activate the heat from within,
exactly.
and that's actually more powerful.
It is.
And one of the things that I firmly agree. I think it's a constant stage of learning, and some of the things I did with my yoga teacher that helped get me 200-hour training was really study the Bhagavad Gita and uh, the sutras and really sort of dive in. But I felt like that's like a life of a whole lifetime of learning because there's so much to learn in every single verse
Yeah.
and chapter and um, so I'm committed to continuing to learn. I don't know that I'll ever be perfect, but I think it's really interesting. And I don't, one thing I don't ever want to do is I don't want to take something that has been sacred from India and do injustice or make it about something that at least in my heart, it doesn't feel like it was meant to be. I think it's meant to be about a way of life and breath and movement and energy and all of these things are part of that. And so that's been really important for me to sort of as I go on this journey to not uh not disrespect. But I'm not perfect and I'm still learning and so I probably make mistakes and that's
Well,
okay.
none of us are perfect. We all are still
Yeah.
learning out there. No matter how long you've been teaching, you're still learning out there because every time there's something new you want to learn, you want to offer to people because
Okay.
uh, only breath work. I'm sure you understand that when you keep on doing only breath work, either they get totally connected to you or they're like, okay, I need a change.
Mm-hmm.
You need to keep on giving them something new in the breath work or in anything in that case. So
Yeah.
that the change is very important for people before they actually understand how, because the main key of meditation is breath work. When
Mm-hmm.
people ask you, how do I meditate? Just focus on your breath and just relax it down. That is what exactly meditation is all about. But people actually try too hard to be there, to keep their body straight, keep their mind straight. And I
Yeah.
see that I'm like, you don't have to do that. Just first loosen up your body, loosen up your mind, get back to a breath work and just be there. And it doesn't matter what breath work you use for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Learn everything and then connect to one particular thing what really helps you better. So that's where yin connected with me. Because yin was something that
Mm-hmm.
helped me to come out of something which was a downfall of life. And it helped me
Yeah.
to come up again. And that's how I connected to yin, where it allowed me to enter more of meditation rather than just doing the asana. So
Right.
I
Is it?
think I do understand what you say with the breathwork point of view,
Yeah.
how it can really help anybody and no matter what situation you are. It's actually very
And I think it can help physically and mentally, right? I think
yeah.
it can unlock so much. And I know, I don't know if my yoga teacher's watching. Her name is Dale. And she instilled that asana is like just a tiny bit of what yoga really is, right? And that it's opening the mind to be able to meditate and connect in that way. Um, and I agree, like you don't have to be perfect. I think that's the other thing that I think about yoga. Like often in the Western world, it's been something that's like, oh, you have to have the perfect body and every pose has to be exactly perfect and you must be so flexible. And for me, I'm trying really hard to create space that celebrates all bodies and that celebrates you to do your practice in the ways that work for you and feel true to you and connect for you. And I think that that's something that I get really excited about being able to do. And that was why I wanted to really do yoga teacher training was um, to just bring maybe a different perspective. Now, I have met many teachers who aren't pushing you to have the perfect pose and the perfect structure and frame and really just making sure you don't get hurt because I think that that's important too. But asana being such a small part of the total practice and um, as I continue to learn and grow, I hope to be able to bring sort of all this other expanded learnings to help folks.
That's amazing. That's a wonderful thing that you have in mind and your vision towards how you want to help the society and the world. I think that's a wonderful thing, Chad. I think we're so blessed to get connected and to know so much. And I'm sure we would love to learn a couple of breathwork with you. We can do some sessions maybe online, and when you come to Rishikesh, maybe we are going to be there as well.
Yeah.
So we're
Oh,
going to
perfect.
we can definitely have some live sessions with you out there at the Ganges. That's gonna be like blissful, like that'd be like
Yeah.
we can't ask for anything more than
Yeah, that would
than
be amazing.
I know. Thank you so much, Chad, to be
Thank
connected
you.
and to collaborate with us and to help us grow as well. And for people to know that Skid O2 products are available at Heart Align Energies, and it's gonna be like a great combination if you have breathwork, yoga, and how you balance everything. Yeah, great. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Chad. I'm gonna see you really soon.
Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.
Namaste.